Would you say cost or would you say SLA? Okay, how many would say security? Okay, how many would say as your top priority? How many would say SLA? Uptime as your top priority, right? Or how many would say everything? Or still confused? Yeah? Okay. With that, I'm here to talk about something which we call observability. Any guesses on observability? And a lot of people have spoken about it. People often confuse observability with monitoring, okay, or alerting mechanisms. Essentially, if you go to look at what is the difference between an alerting mechanism and an observability mechanism, alerting is watching. I'm watching everything. Observability is understanding. I am understanding what is it. So, right from the time your mobile app starts acting funny, to the time a VM starts acting funny, to the time a network going down, have I understood what is really happening? Or have I just given you an alert? With that, I will start my presentation, and I believe there's no better way to start a presentation than a customer testimony. So, here we go. Audio?
Caters to retail business, wholesale business, and consumer business across different financial services like lending, wealth management, agriculture, investment banking. I oversee the strategy and the operations for network and cybersecurity for the bank and its associated group companies. So the bank's mission is to create value into various areas of financial and wealth management, cutting across different areas of healthcare, personal loan, lending. Solarwinds is the sole tool that I use for the network and cybersecurity stack within the organization. Right from looking at dashboards to handling event management, to doing incident management, fault management, inventory and asset management, configuration management, backup, compliance and regulatory, multiple deliverables from Solarwinds. I would state that visibility and observability and automated provisionings are the two major areas where we have seen really drastic improvement. Just to give an example, a customer is wanting to access the internet banking. Now, right from the customer's machine to the internet banking application server, there are multiple technology stacks that operate. Where is exactly the problem? Now, if you don't know this, you'll never be able to solve it. I rely heavily on Solarwinds because of its capability to give me granular visibility across the multiple technology stacks. Solarwinds has really traveled and evolved a lot, right? So to be a simple monitoring tool, today we able to provide for a complete visibility and observability capability across networks, cybersecurity, servers, storages, databases, and the cloud. I would advise my peers and colleagues and industry peers to kind of look at SolarWinds as their unified visibility and observability platform. I'm not sure how many of us know, but SolarWinds is one of those very few tools who has a complete suite of observability for O365. It has the capability to spread across on-prem, cloud, and even SaaS-based applications. That capability helps bring all of data into a single unified data fabric, incorporating technology and business to give a business view to both the parties. That's the beauty of it.
So one thing that I love is where exactly is the problem? Where exactly is the problem, right? And a lot of times we get challenged on resolving customer user experiences, customer issues, business issues, operations issues, and everybody is firefighting, and you would have a team call with 50 people in it, right? And everybody is pleading innocence. The problem is not in the compute, the problem is not in that, right? Where exactly is the problem? This brings us to something we know as the resilience chart. Now, why do we have resilience gaps? Just to give you a view, there was a large survey which was done by not us, one of the analysts. And the question that was asked was, how resilient is your IDP? 80% of the customers said very resilient. Perfect. Next question. In the last 6 months, how many unplanned outages did you have? 50% said yes. Unplanned outage does not mean a total data center going down. It can be an app going down, right? It can be performance issues. Why does all this happen? Essentially, because IT is getting complex. You enter a data center and you can't tell a router from a network switch to a firewall to a load balancer. Which rack, where exactly, what is powering it, who are using that exact server, we have no idea. So there is a difference between the physical part of a data center and the user part of the data center. Then you have lack of visibility. How many servers which are 10 years old, how many 5 years old? Most of us are managing it on an Excel sheet today. Yeah? And what this leads to is a service delivery impact. Okay? Sorry, connecting you to your driver. In the next 5 minutes, connecting you to your driver. In another 5 minutes, connecting you to a driver in another 5 minutes. We all have faced it, right? When using an Uber. How do we change our posture from reactive to proactive? How are we dealing with compliances? And how are we dealing with threats? This essentially is what we have come across and set as the resilience chart. And in terms of the resilience chart, it all starts with your own understanding and assessment of where exactly do you stand in the resilience chart. Do you know 100% about your enterprise? Do you know 90% about your enterprise? Do you know everything about your infrastructure, nothing about your apps? Do you know everything about your apps and infrastructure, nothing about your database? Or do you know about everything but you do not know your internet links and your MPLS providers, your SD-WAN? That is where we come in as a player. And what I want you to look at is visualize this. Where are you spread? Across cloud or clouds, applications, databases, incident response, ITSM, networking infrastructure. What is important here is to visualize it, is to connect the dots. What is connected to what and why is it connected? Have we really done an assessment around it? How do we automate this? Because it is physically impossible for 15, 20, 30, 40 IT folks to be managing thousands of servers, another 100,000 connections, and even more millions of users and their experience. So how do we go about it? This is essentially what Solarwinds does for you. And we call it our favorite donut chart. On the left is the technology piece. We call it the technology, the people, and the process chart. On the left is the technology piece. We will observe your network.